tape myself all the time.
Okay.
So here we are.
There you go. I'm your first live. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another live stream, Bow Wow Bill live stream. We have a very special guest joining us today, Dru Therrian.
That's correct.
The H is silent.
Mm-hmm.
So like terrier, but Therrian is what I said. How you doing?
I'm doing good.
Awesome.
Doing good. Everything's going well. Finalizing, getting ready for the holidays.
Yeah, it's getting on us, and then we hear the news that the post office is really backed up and all that stuff. And you just got out one of your paintings, right? One of the last ones for Christmas.
Right. And then even speaking of the post office, I had a painting lost in the mail, and it showed up. So I'm very happy and pleased that the Postal Service does their job and stuff.
I mean, during COVID, during this whole thing, hey, what are you doing? Come here. I got a puppy in here. I'm going to grab her and put her on my lap because now she's getting into a box that she shouldn't be getting into, but I put it on the ground. And so that's my fault too. So where are you at in the world? I'm
in Chardon, Ohio, so east of Cleveland.
Oh man, the flats?
Well, sort of, but farther and more country. So we're just a small town, about 30 minutes east of Cleveland. But I like the flats. They're coming back.
I like Cleveland. I had a good time there. I watched the Indians play, and of course, Cleveland Indians, if you ever watched the movie Major League.
Yeah.
Right. And so, and then I went to the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, which was very cool.
Right.
So many artifacts there that are just like amazing. And then when we were there, the Blue Angels were there, and they were flying right over Lake Erie, and we ate lunch on the balcony while these Blue Angels flew right by us at the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
Either Memorial Day or Labor Day. I think they fly those holidays.
I mean, we were just so fortunate. I was like, man, you ever have those moments in life where you're just like, somebody pinch me?
Yeah, maybe. Yeah. I don't know.
Well, just so many things that are like you're just grateful about life and where you're at and the experiences that you have and And speaking of which, I got my little Poppy here, who's
very cute. Very cute. Yeah.
So she's starting to crash out. So Ohio, and you train dogs there. What kind of mostly family dogs, or do you
family pet dogs? Yes.
Okay. Yeah. When did you start doing that?
2003. So
2003. So almost 20 years.
Almost. Yeah, it's been a while. It's definitely changed over the time, though. That's for sure.
Yeah. In what ways?
Just starting out. I hadn't been a dog trainer. I mean, I learned to be a dog trainer. And just practicing. I grew up as an athlete, so that just kind of helped with practice. You just knew you had to roll up your sleeves and do it again and do it again and do it again. And that's just how it's always been. Just, always practicing and improving and looking for those little small drips of betterment.
So what sport did you play, or what sports?
My main sport was a diver. So springboard diver.
So that's a very independent sport, and you have to dig deep, and there's a lot of factors to consider. We got height, we got the water aspect, the swimming, right? And Denise says, hello everybody. So we're streaming live right now on Facebook. We're streaming live on YouTube. And if you're watching this right now, I need to up my subscribers on YouTube. So if you wouldn't mind heading over there and checking me out and subscribing to my page. I guess I need 1,000 subscribers in order to monetize that, and I would really like to do that. And then Twitch. Have you ever heard of Twitch?
Not me, but maybe somebody else has.
I think I haven't either, and I think we got a couple followers or something over there. But if you're on Twitch, then thank you for joining us. We are. I guess it was a video game. It's for the youngins. And so, so 2003, what made you make the transition? I mean, what were you doing for a living? Were you making money being an athlete, or were you?
Well, that was younger. That was, and I'm
Okay.
like 20 years older than you are. So,
No, you're not. Are you really? Good job. See what being an athlete does for you folks.
So that was a long time ago. In between college and becoming a dog trainer, a mom. I have 3 grown kids.
Okay.
We have granddaughters. I was and kind of a crafty artist. I sold stuff, but I was a stay-at-home mom.
Okay.
Stay-at-home mom, and I helped at the schools, and I almost called it babysat, but I substitute taught. I was a substitute teacher, and then I thought, well, I just want to do more, and I just picked. I just.
You were like, I like dogs.
Yeah. Well, I liked horses too, but I knew I wasn't going to own a horse. I mean, I could ride, and I thought that'd be pretty cool. So, but I knew I could own a dog.
Well, and a lot more goes into owning that horse, right? And a lot
Right.
more upkeep on what they eat and all that stuff too. And so, did you train? How did you get started with the dog?
I went to National Canine.
Okay. What did you think of National Canine?
Oh, I loved it. I mean, I went there specifically because of the obedience that that was being taught there. So
I've heard wonderful things about National Canine.
Yeah.
So, everybody I ask that they love it, and they love where it's put them as far as their trajectory in the dog industry and their knowledge that they gain, and fresh out of school, you're hungry, but you also have a different knowledge base that comes with experience, right?
Right. And then that was, I just took, again, a portion of it because they introduced you to a lot, and, the aspects that I wasn't going to use, which you probably do, but, sport dog training and hunt or scent work. And
right.
So I took off with, puppies, but I didn't do as much with puppies till later, like maybe, I don't know, 3 or 4 years later. But I did just, family dogs, and then develop more programs.
It's where the money's at, it's where reliable revenue streams are, right?
Mm-hmm.
And there's a lot of up and coming dog trainers now, a lot of young dog trainers, and a lot of people purposely get into this stuff, like you and like Adrian Forsyth did, and a few other people like that go to school and actually get some formal education. And a lot of people kind of get into it by a trial by fire,
right?
By getting a dog that is they can't manage, but they love and they've bonded with, and they can't find the solution. And so they become that solution.
Mm-hmm.
And then they want to share that experience with others that have that same problem that they faced, right?
Correct. Mm-hmm.
And so,
yeah.
But I always recommend some type of formal training and type of school that's what they do, is they teach this stuff, right? And it fills in those gaps. And I would like to go to National Canine. I would like to go to these schools myself.
Mm-hmm.
And even though I've been training dogs for 20 some years, I still want to always am learning. Just finished NAPOPO in this year, right? A gold, and I did silver in 2019.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And I love it. And then hi there from Ottawa, Canada. So so, and then family dogs. And have you always painted them? Have you always
that's kind of a little funny story. I've always been able to draw. And I could sew. So I could, paint, draw, whichever. But my husband needed a hobby. So probably about 15 years ago, we went to a watercolor class, and I just picked dogs to paint. I just said he could paint whatever he wanted to paint. I picked a dog. So I took a picture.
What did he pick?
I think he did like landscapes.
Okay.
And he really actually can paint quite well. But his better hobby is he got into being able to make some good wine. So that was a good hobby too. But
there you go. And they kind of one feeds into the other sometimes, I'm sure.
Sometimes. So I took a picture of our dog and I painted her, and I just stuck with it. I can't paint people. I'm terrible. I don't know why. You think a person would be similar to a dog because they got less hair. I don't know, but
And
so
we're people, so we can relate to like
right,
gestures and things, but
right. I don't know, but dogs are my gig, so I love them. I
that's
love.
why I make glass dogs too. And like I can get them pretty good, man. Like um because I love them and because I look at dogs all day, you know.
Right, right. Um, and I find, and I try to encourage. So I have this ministry, this Angel Dog Watercolors, and what people can do is they can submit photos to my website to get a painting of a dog that's passed away, a painting for someone else, a painting of their own dog. And then my hopes is that they'll donate to a couple charities I have listed. But the reason, how I connect with them, that I feel is through their thank you, through their dogs in the photos.
Look at these paintings, you guys. Look at her talent. And that's what you captured my boy, you captured my girl, and
I'm pretty
you
sure
see,
Gracie will come up.
oh, will she?
Yeah, so if you keep scrolling, the gallery will come up because it's underneath this.
Let me take a deep breath here.
Okay.
Yeah.
She's so sweet. I mean,
Yeah.
and I love that. So
There she is. There's my Gracie girl, you guys.
yeah. I just loved her because she looked so regal. That was the painting that got lost, the little blue pit bull right there.
But it got found.
Yeah, and then it got delivered.
Great.
And,
Look at those eyes. Look at that smile.
well, for her, it was interesting too because she has cataracts, and then this is Princeton. I know all their names. I don't even I don't know the dogs, but that's Tucker. Now, truly, his eyebrow was like that. I didn't make that up. He was just marked that way.
Wow.
And, yeah, Diesel. So
this has got to be hard sometimes, man. I'm choking up already,
yeah.
And looking at other people's dogs.
Well, it's a beautiful thing. That little white guy there, he's a Havanese. That's his name's Rocky. It's my sister's dog. That's Cookie. That dog's from South Carolina, Charleston. I can't remember now. But
yeah, it's hard.
These are pair of Rottweilers.
Little guy.
There's a couple of Chihuahuas and small dogs. I love those big bug eyes.
Look at all these paintings you've done.
And you know what? A couple of them were, because like yours, like with Cedar, who's not, yeah, Cedar's on here. A couple were before Angel Dogs got published, but a lot of this is from last March. So a lot of these paintings have just occurred. That's Lindsay on Newfoundland.
Look at those eyes. That's what I love is your eyes. You capture those little glimmers of that life, Well,
that's the part that's important to me is that's the photo. I want to capture that essence of the dog. So I really want to see their eyes. This is Spooky. This gentleman walked this dog off leash. The gentleman's like in his mid 70s. He lives in town here. And Spooky just was off leash with him all the time. He wore a coat. It was plaid. It's polar. And then Jessie. Jessie was my first official angel dogs, a little Chihuahua.
Jessie, first angel dog.
Yeah. Oh, and there's Adrian's.
Daphne.
Daphne. I want to call her Daisy, but it's Daphne. Yeah.
I knew this dog.
Oh, she was so sweet.
This is how I know Adrian is this dog, is that I saw this dog and especially for dog trainers, I let the dogs speak for themselves. And so whenever we get together in these large groups and conferences and stuff, it's a pretty good, it's a pretty good tell to see who knows what the heck they're doing. And I saw the passion that this little girl had with be doing that plate recall, right?
Oh, rocket, yeah. Paper plate recall. That's right.
Paper plate recall. And then when she would do this thing where she would pop, like jump enthusiastically into a heel. And this is
nice.
Adrian Forsyth's dog, who was actually passed away tragically. And so it's been a hard thing to grasp as professionals. you know, that we belong onto, you know, some, you know, an industry where some harsh truths
Yeah.
can rear their heads, right?
Right.
And that's one of those experiences that, you know, I hope that other people can learn from. And we're going to do an episode where we talk about what happened to Daphne and how others can prevent that from happening, and also others that might have experienced the same thing, you know, to provide, as you say, a ministry or an outlet where people can come together to heal and
Mm-hmm.
you know, and rejoice in the experience that was that dog's life. And the beautiful thing about these dogs going to heaven is that now we can really celebrate their whole life instead of just picking out a part that our mind says that we like. We can celebrate them as a whole. And I think that's a beautiful thing. And that's what I tell my clients too, is,
Yeah.
you know,
I always like it on a couple times if my dogs will end up in my nighttime dreams. It's like
oh yeah,
visiting. I just love it.
isn't that great? You know, that what a good
Yeah.
release. What a good release for us too.
Yeah. This is Willie Bobo. This is my son-in-law's dog. And then he has Jane, this other Rottweiler. So
Wow.
that's Teddy. A good friend owns Teddy. Well, had owned Teddy. And then that's Mabel.
Mabel.
Funny little beagle. Yeah.
Look at that dog.
And then Lucius, this is Jen.
Freelik's dog.
Yeah, I was going to say her last name wrong, but yes, Jen's dog, Lucius.
Right. May God bless him.
Yeah.
God bless every single one of these dogs, and God bless, you know, their people and the experiences that they've had. And you know, I tell people, what is dog backwards, right?
Right. Yes, very good. And there he is. There he
boy.
is. Yep. Yeah. That's Lazy. Yeah, and Kava. Angela do you know Angela Monteith? She's in Indiana, I think. No, she's in Michigan now.
I'm not sure.
Clarissa. Dog.
Oh, what a beautiful dog. It reminds me of my Skipper-Keys. Man, I need to get my Skipper-Keys ears that big. That's what I love, dude. If I can make a breed, you know, with the huge ear, that's all ears. No, like a Dumbo dog that flies around.
Funny.
That'd be a glider dog.
There you go.
And this is your dog.
My dog Daisy. Yep.
And that's a dog that's on the top of the page here.
Right.
And then we're back to the beginning. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, thank you for running through that. That was so nice.
May God bless every single one of these dogs, man.
Well, that's the best thing. It's like the thing I write on, because I'll print out a card for the folks, and on the back it says, you know, dogs make our lives better and our hearts bigger. You know.
And not only will you print out a card, but you print out the card of, you know, the painting that you did, right?
Yeah.
And so that's my Gracie. We're getting her matted and framed, but I have her painting here, and just what a good thing, you know. And it almost took me a year to just go through the pictures of my.
I just waited. It's like maybe, you know, eventually you'll come. You know, it's hard. I have people who say they like a painting. It's like when you're ready.
Yeah.
You know.
And when it comes and you see that painting and it hits you, you feel it all over again.
Sure.
You know, and it is something that I miss my boy and I miss my girl.
I'm sorry, Bill.
Every day. Yeah. And I'm sorry.
That's okay. You know, my Daisy was like so remarkable to me. I mean, she was my dog and remarkable to me. The things that she could do. She was just this little mutt that I did take to NK9 with me. And, you know, neither of us knew anything. And at the end of her life, I mean, she was almost 17. And it's like, it's like, how do you upload? I can't like reboot her to another dog.
Yeah.
You know, they're just, you know, they're so unique and just like us, and they're blessings even with the trials and tribulations that come with dogs, and that's why you have them. It's not all you know, easy.
That's right. And I think that's a reminder of the natural law of law of nature, right? And how things truly are. And yeah, I can't even look at the comments. I need to take a breath. you know.
And if I was there, I couldn't even hug you anyways because it's 6 feet.
Whatever, I'd hug you anyway. Some things are worth a hug, you know.
Oh, okay.
And that's it. Is like, I tell people it's so hard, but it's worth it, you know.
Oh, or even having the dog. People say I'll never get another dog. It's like, why would you not want to love?
That's right.
I'd rather have
and
the
remember
heartbreak.
that. And what I liked about these dogs is, one, first and foremost, that the lineage was passed on, right? And so they knew Cedar, they knew Gracie, right?
Okay.
And so they influenced my dogs today. And then my dogs are having pups and they're influencing that dog, you know? And so it's a nice chain. And,
Sure.
that's what I like to think of. And then not only that, but when the puppies come and you see the difference between the puppies and then the older dogs, and you see that new, fresh, juvenile energy, and and then you look at pictures of your dogs when they were younger, right?
Right.
And see the collars that they once wore, and I mean, what a wonderful experience, you know. But also, what a good reminder to live in the moment, to be thankful of what you got, and not to take life for granted, right?
Right. 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 It's a short amount of time to be on this earth. So we want to make the best of it and uplift others. I mean, that's what I'm hoping with the angel dogs, that someone gets pleasure from having a painting, but then it's passed to someone else who's in need. We don't know. It's like, I don't need to know. I just want to know that we're helping somehow. You know what I'm saying? It's like, whatever you choose to do, you don't have to tell me, just help. Just always help, you know.
Yeah, we'll pay it forward, but also you're transmuting this wonderful love into something that becomes permanent, you know. And there's different dogs out there, and there's different dogs that affect your life. And I always recommend people, to have some time in the morning, right? You're not getting that dog. Anytime that you get a new dog that a dog just passed, it's not going to be the same dog.
Right.
And as a dog trainer, a lot of times I come into a situation where that has happened. The dog just passed away, and then they got the new dog, and they actually resent the new dog. And I really think that they resent the new dog because they haven't given that time of mourning.
Sure. Sure. They haven't found peace.
And the dog is exhibiting, behavior that maybe they might have forgot about if it's a younger dog. Right. And people forget how high maintenance that puppies are. And especially, even as dog professionals, they're high maintenance for us as well,
Yep.
Hold on, I'm going to mute while I blow my nose. There we go.
Okay.
I think I'm better now.
Okay. Well,
Woo! What a, it hits you to the core,
Well, that's what art's about, right? You want to touch something, you want to be effective. And I'm happy, just from feedback, it appears that there is some kind of connection when they see the painting of their dog, or somebody else sees the painting of the dog. I want it to be kind of a life force, that's viewed. I don't have to have the painting to be photographic. That's not why I'm painting it. I just wanted to have that essence of the dog.
Yeah, that's why you were asking. You said I would like to, and you went and looked at how many photos of my girl, in my book.
Right. Could we try again? It's, I have to feel it. Sometimes I think, that's, well, for me, it's the Holy Spirit. So, that's the creative process, and you got to have that groove. And I don't know that I can train dogs every day, but I don't know that I can paint every day. I mean, my painting is not a profession. It's a hobby. It's a love.
How does this affect you?
Because
it's a ministry of compassion, as you call it, right?
Yeah.
I love that, because that's exactly what it is. People are hurting, and you're coming in to provide a steam vent of some type of relief in memory by replicating that which they found as a beautiful experience into a beautiful piece of art, right?
Right. I think on the other end, the creative part, even I don't even know how to relate it to dogs even, but there is a driving, I can't say it at the end of the day here. I'm driven to get that right. You know, you work at it. And sometimes if I don't have the right photo, I've done 3 starts where it's like, nope, not there. So it's almost puzzling. It's like how to get that right, how to get those brush strokes in there to make that look like the dog. It doesn't have to necessarily look like hair. It just has to represent hair, but the shadowing and the colors and the idea of it. You know, that's what I love about watercolor. It's like the idea of it. You let your brain do the work.
Well, it's wispy too, like almost like that spiritual world, the metaphysical world, or how I imagine it would be, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
And I think that's the Holy Spirit working through you, honestly.
Well, I like to count on that. You know,
Right. I think you know that, and I think that's, you know, just you know, hearing you talk and you know, seeing that which you produce. There's something happening.
yeah. Oh, thanks.
You
Yeah.
know, and regardless of what you believe, you know, we come from a creator,
Hmm.
right? And as you talk about the creative force, but we come from a creator, therefore we are mini creators. And that's what I
Right.
think that we're here to do. And that's why we get fulfillment. And look around the room that you're in and tell me something that exists in that room that didn't start in here first.
Right.
Right. And
Right.
so somebody created that. And the world that we walk around in is created and by thoughts. Thoughts become things, and then we manifest. And I also think that I was speaking with a couple artists, and they also are talking about not just the important aspect of creating, but presenting that
Mm.
which you create instead of just locking it away and you know, letting it
Right.
influence others and letting it and becoming that vulnerable. You know,
That's scary. Yeah. Well, 2 things. I love to give away the paintings. That I love to give them away. That's one of my favorite parts. Um, I forget the
that's the
other side you were talking about.
that money that pays your heart, you know, and then that's
Mhm.
what I call the money, the soul money, or
Oh, I like that.
spirit money, because and that's time. That's
Mhm.
time. That's our spiritual money here. How we spend our time, right?
Right.
Spend
Yeah.
your time
Oh,
wisely,
you're giving me some good nuggets to hang
or
on to. I like that.
pay
Mhm.
attention,
Mhm.
right? Right.
Mhm. Yeah.
And you know, we exist on a space time where we walk on space through time, and as we walk through time, it brings us face to face with some harsh realities of that time,
Mhm.
you know, existence and the shorter lives that these dogs have, and and you know, the different aspects of aging for us, and you know, lots of different surprises in life that are brought about by that time. You know,
Right. Yeah.
and
Yes.
so it's and then they call you know, and that art is you know, art has to come from the hand of man, right? So that we have the root art, so art or woman, right? And so we have article, artificial, articulate, right? All the
Mhm.
and then we go to the, you know, Zen Buddhism, and then there was a grandfather of Zen, which was Shinto, and they
Hmm.
had the philosophy that nature, you know, that which nature creates can't be, the beauty of nature cannot be rivaled by the hand of man. And so they do minimalist, which is 1-2 stroke paintings, because they don't want
Hmm.
the influence of you know, that the man, you know, or the human. I thought that was interesting, and that's
It
just
is.
kind of
That's okay.
spur of
Yeah.
thought, you know. And but I think it's cool, and as you start to hone your craft, I look at stuff that I make out of glass, and I'm like, I made that.
Mhm.
Do you do that with these?
Um, I suppose there's a little bit of pride moments where I just say, wow, I got lucky." Yeah, that one turned out great. I'm really appreciative. So
Do you ever feel like empathic towards these people? Do you ever feel their pain? Do you ever take on that, or do you
um,
pray for them? Do
oh, I
you?
definitely pray for them.
Okay.
I don't know how to say this. I'm the fourth kid in my family, so and the last and the farthest in distance. So I don't know. It's like I kind of was raised a little bit different than my sisters. So I never got beat up by them. You know? I was just trying to think. It's like I am empathetic. Like I do pray for them. It's part of the ministry too. I have this. Be honest, I have a little box, and on my window I write their name and the dog's name and the date that I paint it, and then it's going to go in the box, and then it continues to grow. So with that, there's always prayer said over them for anybody who's being touched by the ministry, by me, by them, by whoever might be receiving their donation, which nobody knows. Do I come to tears? I don't know. I guess that it probably has to, I don't know how, there probably has to be a different kind of connection.
I understand.
You know, like how you were, you know, I don't know all the dogs personally, so I don't know
There's
the
a little bit of
people.
separation, and same thing with
Yeah.
me with my dogs, with my clients, right? And then I take on a different hat. I'm wearing a different hat as a different role as a professional,
Right.
as somebody that through my experiences and through my observations, I can bring about some type of relief. But sometimes I can bring about that dreaded, question of when do I do it? And sometimes I'm like,
Yeah.
pushing more for the comfort of that animal, and so that's another aspect of, and I get it, there's a degree of separation that we have to take. Otherwise, we would just be I'd be a bumbling mess, man. You saw me earlier,
Right.
dude. And nothing takes it out of me
Yeah.
like my dogs.
Right.
Something that we've traded our lives to work with, and these dogs I have a special connection with. And my Cedar was my right hand man.
Yeah.
For a very long time, as a professional dog trainer, I would work with a lot of reactive cases, and a lot of times I would read Cedar, see how he thought of them.
Oh yeah, Daisy was my dogometer. Yeah.
Dogometer.
Yeah, I could see some things. And back to just the hard question, like sometimes I'll ask people, we're talking on the phone, and I'll just say, maybe I'm just your sounding board. Maybe I have no answer for you. I'm not going to train with you or whichever. You just talk to me, and I can listen. And that's important too. We might not be able, we're not going to fix all the problems. There's no magic cure.
It sucks. It just sucks. That's what I tell people. That's the only thing I can say about this, is that it sucks. And I'm there with you, and I'm thinking about you.
Right.
And
right.
I'm surrounding everybody. And I even say, I send my angels, my personal angels, my spirit guides, and my little troop of angels that are helping me on some degree or other to help them transition to the new world, or to the old manifestation of energy, or whatever it is that we go to, right?
Sure.
Heaven.
Just to me, it's heaven. I have no idea. It's the mystery, and I love that. It's like, okay, we'll know when we get there.
That's right. I think that's the point, is to live here, to live in the mystery, and so that we can recognize patterns and get to aware of principles, and so that we can tap into those principles and utilize this life to many advantages that it has, that we can use to enhance our own lives, right? And I think that we forget about that kind of stuff, and that the dogs are good reminders of that, right? And good reflectors of when things start to go awry.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. Got to slow down. Got to slow them down.
We got to treat them like a dog. Otherwise, if we treat them like a human, we're going to mislabel, right? And mischaracterize, right?
Yeah, I can hear myself many times. It's just out in the field. It's like, hey, we're just being dogs out here exploring. We're not doing anything special. but we are. It's like we're off leash. We're training. It's like they got to come back when I call. They can't just run off, But it is just out there enjoying creation.
Yeah,
You
and
know?
watching it and observing it, it's pretty cool, but it's also we get stuck in these little I don't know, these little paradigms as dog trainers and dog professionals and people that we see these relationships kind of get into the same patterns over and over. And I don't know about you out there, but we also have a big influx of new puppies ever since COVID,
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know, people I think are reestablishing that relationship being locked in so many so many places with this COVID thing, right?
Right. Yes.
What do
Yeah.
you think?
It is. I don't know if I can determine if it's, and I hate to say it, if it's a good thing or not. I mean, are they self-soothing, and is that best for the puppy, or are they
Oh, I
trying
love
to
that.
interact and then create something new? So I don't know.
So the self-soothing.
Mm.
I'm afraid. Look at that. Look at that facial expression.
Yeah.
I'm afraid you might have hit a nerve there. And I want to expand on that just a little bit. The self-soothing. Do you know who Gary Vaynerchuk is? Gary V.
I speaker, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Motivational
Okay.
speaker, right?
Very
And he
good.
gets up there and
Okay.
he says, "I effing hate dogs," in front of this huge crowd. I can't remember. I got to find it so I can play it. I've talked about this before, and of course I tune in. And he's like, "I know a lot of you are just like, like screw this guy now." And he's like, "But hear me out." He says that I effing hate dogs because people put way too much power and emotional work into these animals before they've done anything on themselves, or they dump all of this into this dog before they've even begun to understand themselves.
Mm-hmm. Maybe. Yeah. I don't know. But I'm happy to help if someone comes and says, "Hey, we got a puppy." It's like, great, let's get training.
Yeah.
Let's get training.
Well, and that's where, I mean, the self-soothing, you got to be careful of that, especially if it's a high maintenance breed.
Mm-hmm.
That is, we don't know, right? And absolutely, training is the answer, but it's also, I mean, that could be, that is a pattern that I have seen through clients in the past. Dogs that people have gotten, these high maintenance dogs that are basically self-soothing and becoming a rescuer, where it's like, man, this dog is wanting to eat you.
Yeah.
I'm going to go through some of these comments now. I'm doing good here. Art is
Okay.
so good for the soul. Absolutely, it is.
Mm.
I suck at drawing people too. This from Tosh down in New Zealand, my good
Oh,
friend.
okay.
But mainly because it freaks me out. Oh man, you should see Tosh. Tosh does graphite.
Oh, okay. Very
Super nice. I gotta find. I gotta. Where did we hang that? I don't even know where we hung it right now. But I got a picture of her that she did for me, of Yaya and Ash. Oh, I love it.
nice. I'll have
When
to
I
look.
draw the ice, they stare out at the paper at me. Dogs can stare at me all they want. All right. So, wow, beautiful. Yep. Oh, Adrian's watching. Fantastic. That's my girl.
Mm-hmm.
Such beautiful work.
Thank you, Adrian.
Yeah.
That's nice.
I feel you, Bill. They stay with you. Absolutely. Don't cry. You'll make me cry. Don't tell me what to do. Sometimes I can't help it, man. I wish it wasn't this way. I cried the other day. I mean, in class, when a dog made a breakthrough and went up to his freaking dad, and that's what they hired me for.
Mm-hmm.
They were like, "We want him to go to him. We want him to trust him." And then he's sitting there playing. He turns around, runs to dad, jumps up. Dad picks him up, and I just start crying. And I'm like, "I'm sorry, you guys. I get it." So I wish I wasn't that way. Oh, Lord, tons of dogs, puppies. It's good unless they go back to their old ways. I don't know what that is referring to, but we made it through the comments.
Yay. Okay. Mm-hmm.
Well, and so when you do the training, like, what is the first thing that you just kind of, do you give them questionnaire? What is that?
Oh, to sign them up, or we talk on the phone, or just
Yeah, you've talked on the phone, and then you do private. You go to their house, or did they come to you?
I have FaceTime lessons because I'm not just having lots of people come. I train out of my home, so we have a 3-bay garage that we've converted into our training room. It's got heat. It's got a nice floor. It's got nice, pretty pictures on my wall of dogs.
That's all you need, man.
Yeah. So, I have switched, I'm not doing private lessons in person.
Right.
I'll come to your living room. So I'm coming to living rooms on FaceTime. So I'm doing lots of those, but I have 2 boot camps. One's a day boot camp, it's like school. So I'm only having one dog owner come every 2 weeks. And then I'll have an overnight dog, and the dog owner drops off the dog and comes back in 10 days. So very, very, limited dogs coming in, which is all right, and keeping me busy enough. So
did I lock the door? Hold on, I locked the door. Hold on.
Oh no, your wife's out.
Yeah. Please hold, everybody. I'll put you on our solo here. 1 second here. Oh wait, how do I do it? Solo layout. There you go. We'll be right back.
Okay.
Sorry. Yeah. No. I locked my wife out. Come on. Yeah. Will you hand me Yaya and Poppy?
Yeah.
All right. I am back. Hold on. Sorry, I put you on solo.
Well, nobody's talking to me, so that's okay.
There we go.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
the wife
there
is
she is.
home. I locked her out. I inadvertently put the deadbolt for some reason on the door. And so there you go.
Okay.
So I have a lot of respect for artists that work with watercolor. It's a whole other way.
I think in control, and again, I'm not a pencil artist. Oh my gosh, I swear these color pencil artists coming out of the UK, and she's a graphite. I mean, it's a different control. So watercolor is flowing. You can't totally remove it. You can make individual hairs with pencil. It's hard to do that with, some are very, very good. I'm just saying I am not that detailed oriented with my watercolor.
I think they're fantastic.
Well, thank you. I think
I see them. I mean, that's what's hard is to capture, especially, and that's why I don't really hire too many artists or do that, because if it comes back, it doesn't look like your boy. It's almost, that's why I don't do consignments in glass either, because I don't want it to look wonky and have them come back to misrepresent, that.
And that's it. That's the fingers crossed that, it looks like an idea of the dog, that they see their dog in it. And that's why the facial expression. So I just go with the triangle. It's like I need the eyes and the nose. If I can get those right, the rest kind of falls into place and stuff. So.
Do you have a lot of people hiring you? And then, so this is angeldogs.com, right?
Angel Dog Watercolors, sorry.
Angeldogwatercolors.com. So let me make sure I put this. Angel Dog.
Yeah.
For you guys. And this is great also for this. I haven't done it, but I need to. And I could probably give you so much business right now for if this takes, and that's it. It's like, I don't want to, I don't want to overwhelm a good thing here. It's like,
right. I think I mentioned, I just passed over a painting this evening, and she was the only one I promised to do a painting for Christmas. I said, I just don't have enough time. Christmas is next week. I'm training dogs till Wednesday. So I have paintings on the back burner. And
are you going to do the family thing this year, or is it going to be a little bit low key?
Very low key. We're missing our Michigan Christmas. My husband's from Michigan, so we're not doing that this weekend. That's our annual. We're not going. A
lot of different things. My mom's in the hospital right now, and they want to keep her over Christmas. And I said, Mom, if there's ever a Christmas to miss,
It's a good one, right? This is probably the one. So yeah, it'll be different, but thank goodness. I was just saying to my husband, it's like, the technology, it's been a lifesaver. The fact that I could see faces and hear and
I'm making good progress on Zoom.
good.
Isn't that crazy? How it's like necessity is the mother of invention, and we're like, here we are. I'm doing Zoom conferences with people, and then the next time I'm like, you guys got it. Like, this is great. You guys are doing wonderful, and you have the time to work with this with your animal. First thing I tell them is dust off that crate, ladies and gentlemen. Let's crate train those dogs. Thank you, George, so much, buddy. What a good guy George is. Prayers for your mom. Well, I'll take all the prayers from my mom I can get. She's an awesome lady. She's doing better. She's just fed up with I don't blame her, but as we get older, as we were talking about, the little surprises that time brings about. And I'm just thankful that we have the ability with Western medicine to bring comfort, right? And that's a wonderful thing. What are you doing, you dork? I gotta get the puppy back on my lap because she's getting back into the box. So, and that's it, man, is love on who you have. And I think that it's so awesome that it's a ministry of compassion.
Thank you. Yeah.
And I think that these have been such a good thing for me as far as just cathartic and just to be where I can see it and talk to my boy, and just to address him. Dru's still purty as ever. Oops. Pretty LOL.
I thought that was just his accent.
Putty as ever.
Yeah.
So you met George?
I have. At Scotty McConaughey's. I met him down there. Yeah.
I got to reach out to Scotty too, man. I want to have him on one of these live streams. I'd like to talk to him. And
sure.
So yeah, if Scotty's here, then I'll send him a message. But yeah, so you're in Ohio. Have you always been there?
This is the longest place I've ever lived. We've been here about 20 years.
Okay. Where did you live before?
Let's see. I've lived in upstate New York. I've lived in Michigan. I've lived in Indiana, and I've lived in Wisconsin.
Where were you born?
In Indiana, which is kind of funny. I mean,
why is it?
It just came full circle. So I was born in Indiana and kind of went around all this Midwestern stuff. And
they come to the West Side over here.
Yeah, and then back to Ohio.
But have you been out here? Have you been out to Seattle?
No, I've been to San Francisco. My son had lived in San Francisco, so we got to visit.
When was that?
Oh boy.
It's changed.
Yeah, it's been a while because he lives in China right now. So I think it was like 2010 maybe he was there. I'm not sure. It's been a while. So
yeah, a lot of these big cities in the West Coast, they got these tent cities all over the place.
Oh boy.
All over the place.
Yeah.
Here in Seattle, I've never seen anything like it. I went down to LA, I've never seen anything like it.
Okay.
And it's something that is I think a reflection of people and people struggling and a society that needs to figure something out. I don't know the answers. If I did, I'm not in politics or anything. I consider myself spiritual, and I love people. I absolutely love people, and I love getting to know them, and that's why I love doing these talks. And I used to bartend, and that was kind of my steam in of doing this stuff. But I don't know, but I definitely see it. And I mean, the nicest neighborhoods like Magnolia and West Seattle, some of these huge, and I couldn't believe it, and it's very interesting,
Yeah, it is almost a storybook for me, another world, we're a small town here, 30,000 people, and, it's just, we're in a bubble. We're in our own little bubble, I think. So
how do people find you mostly when you're training their dogs?
I think word of mouth now, internet, Facebook friends. Yeah. It used to be, I remember I had my little uniform on. I don't know if everybody wore the polo shirt, you know, stuff was embroidered here, and I'd go to the vets and I'd take them cookies and I'd leave my cards, and I did it probably every month. I'd hit 10 vets and just kept passing cards out, and finally got enough people that I trained their dogs and they were talking about it. So I don't, and I used to, you know, I can remember spending the money on, probably so old, Yellow Book. It's like Yellow Book ads. It's like,
you're
oh my
dating
God.
yourself.
I know, but it's like, I was so happy when I quit doing that. I just said, I'm not advertising anymore. So
what the heck is this? We got a comment from Twitch. The industrial evolution and the industrial has been a disaster on the whatever, man. I don't think it's been a disaster. Increased life expectancies of vast countries have destabilized society, making life unfulfilling and subject to widespread psychological suffering. Okay.
Well, we love dogs, so there.
We're dog. We're working with dogs. I'll let the dogs know that. I'll read that to the dogs today, and then I'll let you know their answer, what they say. You know, I told them when Trump won the presidency, I was like, Trump won the presidency, and they just ran around the field.
Okay.
So, and I told them Biden won the presidency, and you know what they did?
Ran around the field. Yeah.
Yeah. So, oh my goodness, this guy. You know, how do I get onto? But whatever. Yeah. And so now you're doing FaceTimes and all that stuff, and Zoom, and you know, and the doggo meter. You know, I'm taking that. I'm feeling that. I can't help it. What are some other stuff?
Oh, I don't know. I'm not sure.
Okay. I'm not going to ban you. Don't ban me, Bill. I like dogs. Okay, good.
Okay.
We won't ban you. I'm not banning you. But
funny.
Like mute you. But what were you saying? What are some of the other sayings?
I don't know if I have any gems.
You know what? I think I have a gem.
Which
Do you want to talk about that thing? I'm the one that said that. You're the one that has to bring it up. But I'm like, totally up to you if you do. What does it say? So do you use other mediums as well? Do you do photography? No. Do you do?
Oh my gosh! I must have a million photos. I mean, when I die, my children could make oodles of books of dogs. I mean, I take so many pictures of dogs just for my dog owners. So I love photography. I'm not a very good photographer, but I enjoy taking pictures. So my poor camera and my computer is just millions of photos on the computer. I keep putting them on flash drives just to get them off the hard drive and stuff. So, but I don't really do anything with them other than collect. I collect a lot of dog photos just because they're beautiful. Just the dogs are just so beautiful.
They are beautiful. And they remind us to live in the moment.
Yeah.
What else do they do?
Just be joyful.
Joyful. Blissful. Man, you see those dogs just jumping around because the glass is tall?
Yeah.
And they're just like, and
we're eating snow today. So I have a little guy here, and I don't know if it's a Logoto or Logoto, but I have a Logoto or Legato.
Oh man, Michael Lynch. I need to get on him, or he'll be like, it's Regato Romagnolo.
Okay, well that one.
Romagnoli or lie or whatever.
He's so cute, and he it's just a dusting today, and he is over the moon with this little white stuff on the ground. So again,
I think that it's like a fresh palette. You know, when they go out there, and it's just like a serene, I don't know, fresh breath of air or something, because they see with their nose, right? And then that just kind of covers up that ground, and they go out there, and it's just like, I don't know. That's what I try to think, is because every time it snows, they're just like, oh yeah, they fling in the snow, and you know, there's so much that they do, you know. And then they also so joyful. They also teach us about forgiveness. Right.
And they're non-conditional. You know, they'll take us. We could be mean to them one day and love them the next day. We're kind of flaky, and
then you know, something.
They forgive us.
Right. And they also so living in the moment, joyful, forgiveness,
Comforting.
comforting. I mean, just such a way that no matter what's going on in your life, a lick of a dog on your nose, or for me, I'm like,
Yeah.
okay, cool. You know, I
Yeah.
can handle this.
Yeah. Just that sweet moment of interaction of in your space
Yeah.
when it's not too pushy.
That's right. When it gets too pushy, then it becomes demanding, and then it
Right.
becomes that, you know, where they're kind of trying to see how far they can go. And I think it's a test.
Sure. Just like children or people, you know.
And those boundaries, just like Sherry Boyer says, can be like a little barbed wire fence that's rotted out on the fence posts out here in the field, right? Which you can just walk right over. You know, it's kind of laying about
Oh, I see.
almost on the ground right now, but that's a barrier. It's a fence right there, right? But you can walk right over it, no problem. And then we got Guantanamo Bay, baby, right? Which is another barrier that if you touch it, you're DED.
Yeah.
And so, you know, that's part of that relationship too, is defining those boundaries. And when that dog starts to get a little pushy, what do?
Well, I'm going to be brave, and I'm going to say I'm going to use a tool. Shall we talk about this?
Well, show me the picture too, because that was what I liked a lot. So if you want to talk about it, we can talk about it, because I want to talk about it.
Well, my only concern is we're heading into a long time, and I probably need to wrap things up soon.
Okay.
Just because
we can.
You know, so
we'll end on this. And so whoever joins us, whoever watches all the way to the end, will be rewarded.
Okay.
Those of you who are watching are about ready to be rewarded.
Well, we'll see. We'll see. I don't even, I'm in the process of patterning a leash. I put a pattern on a leash 10 years ago and wasn't happy with it. So I set it aside and didn't pursue it. And I readdressed it. And I've come, and it's not like you guys don't know this. I just combined it to create what I call a tool. I can't do the
right
camera.
In front of your face. Yeah. Right
okay.
There. So hold it up a little bit closer to the camera here.
I call it the ODH toolkit leash, and it can function in 4 different manners. There we go.
The classic leash is with the collar there. Yeah, and so I can loop around the dog's neck and then clip. And then we have a slip line, which is on the upper right. And if you lift it up just a little bit, then we have a head halter, like the halties, or the canine lifeline stuff that Heatherbeck has as well, with the safety carabiner. And the safety carabiner to ensure the leash
doesn't come off his head.
Okay. And then also body harness for smaller dogs, like for my puppies, my little guys, which I can, these little guys, you know, I don't want to put something around their neck right away as a little puppy. And so but I need a line on them, especially on the large fields out here. I don't want them to just take off.
Right.
And so,
one of the game changers about it was, because it can be a regular leash, and the material is just a size where it can clip and it floats. So we can have a quickly, like a slip line, just quick and go. But this is for a smaller dog. This is actually for the Logoto. This little stopper here keeps it from strangling, so we can set it from being too tight.
Okay.
And then the ball comes down and keeps it from being too large, so it won't fall off.
Pop off, right.
I'll show you. I have my little friend. So this is what I do with my dog owners when I do my FaceTime, because I've sent them a leash as part of the FaceTime. Is here it is on the dog, and it just kind of sits really nice.
And you got a carabiner that you use to attach to the flat collar there.
Right. So even if you were to push it, or if their head slopes funny, or if they get this off, which it is less likely. Like today, I have an Airedale in training, and when that's all snugged up, she cannot get this head halter off. Try as she might, she's pushed, she's rubbed, she's done everything, and she hasn't been able to get it off. And I've allowed her. It's like, go ahead and try. And then here, the carabiner has just been great, so that should it come off for whatever fluky reason, you still have your dog because you have the leash in your hand. So
love it.
It's in the patent office, and fingers crossed, and we'll see what happens. But I'm using it. Like I said, it's been part of my training programs. I haven't really sold it yet. I'm making them myself, of course, and looking for a manufacturer, and haven't made a good video yet because they've been so long. But I've really learned through this whole COVID, having to talk to people through a screen. I mean, telling people how to train a dog through a screen really ups your game. Makes you have to think about even left and right.
That's right.
How to describe it, how to handle it, manage it, and use it.
And then paying attention, making sure that all the kids and everybody are there. Like I have this one where these two little girls, because the dog went after one of the little girls, right? And so I'm like, okay, you guys, everybody needs to be on the same page, and I need you guys to know, right? And I can't be there. And there's just so many ways that we have to rethink this,
right?
And so everybody, gets the message, and we still get the results that we can get. I could just grab a leash of a dog, right? And that dog shapes up pretty quickly. And then, I can show them, let me show you with your dog. Now you try it. Now let me take it back and show you where you did wrong. Now you try it again, and if that dog comes unruly or becomes then I can step in and kind of mitigate that as well. And, it's just different to do. And there's some cases that I don't take, of course.
Right. And then with regards to the leash, what's nice is you have that option. It's like, well, the flat collar's not working. Let's go to the slip line. Well, he's still pulling. Let's go to the head halter, And most often, again, the harness is still more appropriate for a smaller dog, puppies. Flat-faced dogs aren't going to be wearing a head halter. So, and then they might not have any neck, so you're not using a slip line either because, there's just no room.
Yeah.
And stuff.
Well, I think that, as the tools, and I encourage people too, like, this is great that you've taken and you realize that there was a need for this. And so instead of waiting for it, you've stepped up and created it.
Yeah. And that's why I call it the toolkit. It's like, which one do you need? And it might, and you can change. It's like, you're not locked into one. It's like, let's try it.
Well, it'd be cool for a dog trainer to have that, for just to have and be like, look, let's try this, let's try that. Okay, cool. This one works. So this is definitely what we should stick with. And then be able to, refer people or be able to sell the leash themselves eventually once you find a manufacturer, all that stuff.
Right. Yeah. These are just baby steps, but 10 years in the making, but really excited about the fruition of it and being able to use it. And, people like it. So the ones that have agreed to have one.
I want to try it, so we'll talk about
I'll send you one. Yeah,
I want to try it, and I'll do a video and everything on it for you. But I like the idea. Look at this little knucklehead. This little knucklehead. She definitely hears something outside, but I think that she's losing the tooth. I'm going to give her a little carrot here pretty soon. Let her chew on that.
Nice.
As she's starting to teeth. But Dru, you are awesome.
Well,
I'm sorry I freaking was a bumbling mess for so much of this freaking thing, but I knew it was going to be hard, and maybe I set myself up, but I sure do appreciate what
I appreciated being here too, and it was great chatting with you and being able to talk dogs and talk art. I mean, I love, what's a better combination, dogs and art?
Well, I think that training dogs is art and science. What do you think of that?
Absolutely. Right.
Yeah.
Right.
So we all put our individual spin on it, our individual signature, if you will. And just to give people an idea, let me show you my cedar boy. So I got them all matted and framed. And then this is the size of the painting. So I'll be right back.
That looks nice.
God bless my cedar boy.
Yeah.
And he's a good dog. So, and God bless my Gracie girl, and God bless all those dogs, and God bless you, Dru, for what you do.
Thank you. God bless. And thank you everybody who tuned in, and we'll chat soon.
Yeah, just reach out to Dru, Angel Dogs Watercolors, and then also on Facebook. And hold on, Dru, I'll say goodbye to you on the other end here. But
Okay.
bye,
All right.
everybody. Thank you for joining us for another live stream.